Kenny here with Gardening Simplified. It's October 7th. I'm out here in the garden and we're going to do a little update. We'll start up here by the herbs, which are uh, Cuban oregano. It's kind of going crazy. That's just one plant. We've been nipping some off. It's not quite the best quality. The leaves are getting to where they're a little brown on the tips. It's the the weather right now, but it's still doing good. Our ginger, it seems to have pretty healthy plants, so we hopefully will get a lot of ginger from there. Uh, our other herbs, they're doing pretty good, most of them. I still haven't figured out what's in that container there. I guess I need to take the time and see. This oregano here, definitely it needs cut back. It's way out into the walkway, and we'll do some trimming on it. Uh, our turmeric, you can see it's yellowing, so it's in its cycle. It looks pretty good this year, so we hope we got a nice bit of uh, rhizomes underneath it. We'll find that out pretty soon. Let's go back around over here to the Victory Garden area. We've got some heads of romaine lettuce, and we've got our next batch of cilantro. It's just a little bit young. I don't know if we'll harvest this week. We might let it go another week, but I'm sure we're going to end up with a spell where we don't have any. Our new batch of dill, it's just now coming on. It's probably at least 2 weeks off from being harvested. We have been harvesting the head lettuce, the romaine lettuce, and our bok choy here. Some of them I've noticed with a lot of wilt during the daytime. They're not doing as good. I'm sure the chickens will end up with them, but we have been getting some pretty good ones. The Mitchahili, it's doing well. We've been harvesting some of it. I can see there is some bug damage. Nothing to really be concerned. Now these are some of our uh, early Jersey cabbages, and they're not our earliest ones we put out, but they seem to be doing okay. And we've been watching. We get a little chewing. A lot of this is grasshopper, but we always check. And when you start finding where your leaves are chewed and you don't see a worm, start looking into the center of them, because a lot of times that whatever worm that's eating them, whether it's cutworm or some other type, they'll take and uh, hide down there during the daytime. Our uh, bell peppers are still small. I don't think they'll really get big the rest of the year. We're planning to take some stuff out. We've got some more cleanup to do in a lot of these rows here. Our peas are doing okay. They're really slow growing. Uh, they really like that springtime sun a lot better. We got volunteer tomato. I'll just leave it. It's not hurting anything. Our okra is producing. It's this row here didn't do that good. We ended up having to take some of it out, but we have been harvesting some off here. You can see where it's been cut. Uh, Now we've got, these are our first onions, and they look a little rough. They've stayed in the container a little too long, but I did say I was going to get them out, and there they are. And they'll grab hold. It'll take them a few days. Now, this greenhouse is still empty. We weeded it, and it's going to need another weeding coming in behind it, but we're going to just put strictly lettuce in here. We've got a lot of seeds that we've started. Now, a lot of the peppers are really looking rough. They're still producing, but they're kind of small. Now, we didn't harvest any of these this past week, and we'll probably harvest some in here today. I'm going to get me a little romaine lettuce now, and and some different sweet peppers, and I got some cucumbers, so I'll make it a little salad. These are our Greek pepperoncinis now. We've stopped picking these because we have such a problem with either leaf foot bugs and different things, but we had so many that were soft, and so we just stopped picking them. And same thing with our Cajun bells. Now these are our late tomatoes. I've been kind of looking around in here. They have been blooming and I've been tapping them, but I haven't spotted a tomato, and there's real good chance they won't make it. But we're going to leave them for the entirety and see what happens. That's like always. It's just it's a chance when you're trying to grow something late. Now this bed here, we're not very far off. We'll put our garlic in. We're going to use this bed for garlic this year. Our second crop of cucumber, well, I say our second, our third crop and last crop. These are National Pickling cucumbers, and they're producing. So we do have cucumbers. We'll have some that last, until the frost or until they get. But you can see there's one there. There's one on the other side over there. But they're starting to produce good. They are giving something for the pollinators to have. Now this row of okra, and for some reason I think last year never did do good on this end, and I need to take and do a pH test and see where this is setting. It could be an issue there. It could be root knot nematodes or worse. There's a lot of factors that can play into it. Now, we did have ants messing around, which she went down and put diatomaceous earth around the trunk of them, and that pretty much takes care of it. Now this is our latest crop of peas. These are little marvels, but I planted them in this row too, and I think I had like 4 plants come up. I don't know what the deal was. They were planted exactly the same day, watered the same amount, but for some reason this row didn't come up. So that's just something that happened. Now these cucumbers here, these are my slice more. They're given a few cucumbers. You can see most of them are deformed because pollination, getting moisture and stuff like that, because the plants are really stressed right now. So you get a whole lot of this curl type and stuff like that when they don't get pollinated good. One side will be bigger. Now here was our green onions we planted. In the last video, we just had harvested a few, but we've harvested quite a bit, and in this week we'll take out the last of them and weed this bed. And I've been planning to put some carrots in, and I still haven't got to it, so that's kind of going to be the thing there. Our asparagus, a lot of it's still going. Some of it's died back. It'll be a little bit before we start clearing this out. Over on the side, we really don't have anything to show except the weedy area. And normally this is not something I have, but here lately the energy level's been low, finally getting to where issues from the accident are not so bad. I can actually do a few more things without pain. In fact, I've got off my pain medication now, and it's a lot easier to manage. We get out here, these are our oldest early Jersey cabbage. They're forming heads, won't be long, maybe 3 weeks or so. Maybe we can start harvesting some. This is our latest batch of onions. They didn't get hauled to the back yet. Our cauliflower here is doing good. Our broccoli right here is doing good. All our cabbages, we have been fighting pests on them, try to do our best to find out where they're hiding. Our parsley, it's starting to do pretty good, so hopefully it won't be 2-3 weeks before it's harvest time. Here's our lacinato kale in the greenhouse, and it's doing pretty good. We have a little bit of pest issues, but not too much. We put our leek out in here. I figured I had the space. It really doesn't need to be in the greenhouse. It does pretty good not having that intense sun, because whatever's going on with our sun here lately, it's really been feeling a lot hotter. As we come down here, this is our cilantro we've been harvesting. It's really not, you could still harvest some, but a lot of it's bolting out. I've been cutting the tops, the bolting seed tops out, and I think I harvest pretty much all I'm going to. So I'm going to go ahead and clear this bed, and we're going to plant in it. Now we got another volunteer tomato right here, and I'm sure it's not going to do good even in the greenhouse, but it's there. This is our broccoli. This is Gypsy is the variety. We do have some starting to head. Just won't be long. We'll harvest just a little bit out of there. But it's doing good. All our citrus are doing good. Now we took our squash out here, had powdery mildew. It wasn't giving any type of quality squash, so we took it out. On this end of this row, we planted Filderkraut, which is the really large cabbage that I grew last year for the first time. And my wife really likes it. Now, I don't like it. They say it's a good cabbage for sauerkraut, but I find that because of how heavy the leaves veining is and stuff, when you chop it up, it's okay. The flavor's good, but I think if I'm going to do kraut this year, I'll use the early Jersey because it's a little thinner. We have a lot of plants in here. Our onions, it's about a week older than the others, and then we've got some more Mitchahili. Now, this is my cilantro, and these seeds were a few years old, and cilantro seeds don't keep that well as far as they lose their germination rate, so it's got really spotty germination. Right here, and I'm trying to think what that was. Oh, this is Blues cabbage. Now, most of these cells only had one seed in them because I didn't have a whole lot of seeds, so I spaced them out. And so we will have some blues. It just won't be a whole lot. And we've got Mitchahili and bok choy again. And if you're going to have these, and granted, I'm doing these on a little bit bigger scale, but if you're going to have these keep coming on, you have to keep planting seeds, every couple of weeks apart. So you can have that, because right now this is going to be my next batch, but right over here is my bok choy that we just put out. So we'll finish up harvesting that, and then this will be coming along a little bit afterwards and should have a good crop. And then we've got right here past it, right in this area on, is Mitchahili. So it'll do good. And I planted these in the greenhouse because if it does get cold, they'll do a lot better without any winds coming on them and such. I can start closing up the greenhouse. And even though it get cool at night, it'll warm up real quick in the day, so they should do good. Now, this is the cilantro that was the batch before that other. It just needs pulled out. It was squash that was in that row was all up into here, and we just didn't mess with taking it all out. Now, from here up is our next batch of gypsy broccoli. This will come on hopefully fairly early this winter, and should give a good crop. Now, inside I have a new batch of seeds that are just germinating, so they'll follow behind. These are probably 4 to 6 weeks old, and then the other ones will follow behind that. These will still, once they put a head, they'll start side sprouting, so you can still harvest them. And by the time these are kind of harvested out, the others should be going. Now we have some red cabbage here, and the rest of that rose red cabbage. And then we have some more early Jersey. Now I had a bunch of them that had died, and some of them that I put in afterwards had died, but I took my extra plants and planted in here. That's why there's a lot smaller ones. And that's doing pretty good. Now our bananas, we've been harvesting. We harvest about 3, but it looks like right now there's about 4, 5. Well, let's see, 5. No, yeah, 5 of them ready. They're kind of hiding around up in there. And I've just been clipping them off one at a time. You could harvest a bunch and let them ripen, but I just want to let them ripen on the tree or the plant. And here's the other bunch that are growing. They're looking pretty good. And our newest bunch, and I don't know how well this will make it because we'll have to try to keep this warm. But this bunch you can see is quite a bit smaller. But they are doing good. Plenty of water, plenty of nutrients, and they do good. Now I do have a few extra red cabbage seedlings here, and I'm going to find some places and poke them out where we've had some loss. I'll just stick them in. And of course our banana pups, these are pups that we've taken off of these 2 banana trees, mostly this one here. It's put on quite a bit earlier on. Now it seems to have one little one that's kind of stagnant and staying there. But they're all doing good. What I'm going to have to do, and it looks like I need to trim a little bit on that, but what I'm going to do is put these in the new greenhouse. And my pineapples are doing good. We got a couple of them or the one is really doing good. The other 2 are doing pretty fair, but we'll take care of those 2. Now, this little tree here, which I'm going to say it's about 18, 20 inches, might even be a little longer than that. But this is my little red pear that I've grown from seed. So it's doing really well. And hopefully we can get this out this winter sometime or early in the year. Now let's go down this side here. We still have our Nadapinos are doing good. Now we have our cherry tomatoes are still here, and the plans are to take them out. They have been putting on tomatoes, you can see them, but what happens is we've had so many leaf foot bugs that they usually end up stung, and so we haven't harvested any red ones. We've got to take out a bunch of peppers here. They've just been these are paprikas. We kind of let them go. The heat was making them all soft, so we got rid of that. We still have good production, or pretty good production, on our sweet banana peppers. And a few of our hot peppers. Now this is our Sugar Rush, and we've been picking some on them. We never let them, they're actually Sugar Rush Peach, but we never can let them get past this point, because most of the time when they get their full color, and here's one we missed last time, and it's still good, but you can see what color they'll turn. But what normally happens by that time, the bottoms end up getting some kind of issue with them. Now, like I say, we got to take out some peppers. These are ghost peppers, and you can see there's not a pepper one on them. We didn't harvest any this week. Last week was the last harvest we got. Now we've got these 2 rows of cucumbers to take out, and hopefully we can get to this. We might have to get some help, but normally by the time we're out here for a couple hours, by the time I water it, do just a little bit, and then I'm kind of tired. I guess the body's healing. These peppers here are still doing pretty good. You can see the yellow scorpions, which they ripening up good and right. We just harvested these. We do end up with the issue with some. It's just like this one here. I don't know if it's a bug got it and then it started rotting or what it is, but we do have some issues like that. Now, I can't say much for my globe artichokes because they got taken over by the roselle. It's just fanned way out, and because it's not real strong. Normally I would put a T-post in, but I didn't, and I've got 2 rows here. But I did want to show you this right here. Let's zoom in a little bit first, but you can see these are just now starting to flower. So hopefully we won't get some quick cold spell and we'll be able to get a harvest off of these. That's what I hope. But anyway, that's about the way it looks in the garden this week. I am doing a lot of seed starting. That's kind of a job where I can sit down and and it doesn't take too much energy to do. And that's the important part this time of year, so that you do have a good, if you're going to do fall gardening or winter gardening, depending on your area. The main thing, and especially when you're limited area, is to get your succession seeds planted so that whenever the one crop is gone or you get a hole in there where you can stick in 2 or 3 plants, go ahead and have them ready. If you're going to plant 3 plants, take a little 6-cell tray and grow you 6 plants, and that way you can pick the best ones that's going to thrive the best in your situation. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this update this week. And if you like this kind of content, we'll of course hit the subscribe, hit the bell, select all, give it a big thumbs up, and share this video. Enjoy that gardening experience.